It was over early last night for the Horned Frogs. The Dogs scored 38 points, matching the most points any team has scored in either half of a BCS CFP championship game. Georgia entered the day having scored 38-plus points in just 6 of its 60 bowl games all time. This is not what Stephen A. envisioned yesterday.
I thought Michigan would romp them, and boy, was I wrong. I'm going with the Cinderella, Paul Finebaum. I think TCU's gonna shock the world. I'm picking TCU to win the national championship. It would surprise me, Paul Finebaum, if TCU shocked the world. They shouldn't win. Georgia's the better team, but I just got a feeling, man, that TCU might pull this off.
And then there was that.
So much for that.
See, what had happened was.
I'm not even going to get on you, though, Stephen A., because I was just proud you went with the underdog.
Listen, I wanted to go with the underdog, man. I knew Georgia was the better team, but I wanted to go with the underdog, man. You know, it's like, but once again, my initial gut, I got to stick with it. All season long, when Paul Finebaum was coming on First Take, and anytime we got into a discussion about TCU or whatever, I'm sitting there like, please, don't give me that. They ain't winning no damn national championship. Stop this nonsense. And then when they got into the postseason, I had a problem with them being in the postseason. I had a problem with them and Ohio State because Ohio State got ronked by Michigan in the Big Ten championship game, and TCU lost to K-State. I thought Alabama should have been up in there. That's the 2 losses I didn't care. They were narrow losses, and then when USC went and they lost to Utah twice, including getting bum rushed in their conference championship game, I was like, yo, Alabama all day. Bring them on. And by the way, that would not have happened last night to Alabama. We know this. But in the end, here's the bottom line. I was wrong. I sat up there and TCU. Here's my thing, Keyshawn and Paul. I don't have a problem with a loss. But when you get blitzed, when you get annihilated, when you get, I mean, they ain't gonna show. Those kids might skip the semester, and the school might allow it because of how much they embarrassed themselves last night. That's how bad that beatdown was. I mean, they can't show up on campus today. I mean, it's just bad. It's just that bad. And I will say this. Thank God college football has this 12-team playoff system coming. Because let me tell you something right now. After what we saw last night, don't think for 1 second that wouldn't influence future choices by the committee. Because right now you could make an argument that the committee owe ESPN money for having to air that last night and having people show up to watch that atrocity. I mean, no contest whatsoever. Okay. 48-0 over the last 3 quarters. It was that bad.
We're going to get to that. But, Stephen A., I want to piggyback on that thought. With what you just said in terms of the beatdown Georgia handed to TCU, and Key, I'll ask you to pick it up here. Do you think Georgia has replaced Alabama as the top dog in college football?
I don't. Not yet. But they are coming. They are on the heels of Nick Saban, no question about it. We keep forgetting Nick Saban did just win a championship several years ago. It's not like he won it 10 years ago, a few years ago. So I wouldn't automatically just replace Alabama and put Georgia in there, but Georgia and Kirby Smart are on the heels of Nick Saban, no question about it. 2 in a row. The last time that happened was in the BCS era in 2011, 2012 with Alabama. If he goes next year and let's say he plays against Alabama and he beats Alabama in a national championship, that'll be 3 in a row. When you look at his resume since coming over from Alabama as defensive coordinator to Georgia as a head coach, unstoppable. Unstoppable. He's been in 3 championship games in the CFB in 5 seasons in 3 championship games. So how can you complain about what he's done and what Georgia's done? But Alabama's still showing you they can go out and get the #1 recruiting class in the country this year. They went out and got the #1 recruiting class. So I'll wait and hold a little bit before I just say Georgia's the cream of the crop in college football.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.